Hello, I return in peace again, and today we are beginning the Therapy Thursdays, and the first therapy game I'm playing is Vampire Therapist. And, well, I don't know what I'm playing after that, but I haven't played Vampire Therapist at all before. So it's a bit risky. I don't know what to expect really. But the game seemed interesting because vampires, therapy, and so on. So, do we dare to start? I'll be brave. I'll be brave. Let's see. Let's see. There is no way to continue because this is the first time I started this game, so it's risky. I hope it doesn't have life-threatening bugs or anything. But it's quite small, so I expect it doesn't have anything to worry about. So, let's see. Vampire Therapist explores or touches on sensitive topics such as war, abuse, addiction, sexual oppression, suicidal ideation, religion, and of course death. This may be uncomfortable or upsetting for some readers. We recommend that readers with a history of trauma related to any of these topics approach this game with caution. Naturally, a game about vampires will also involve blood and sexual themes. Strong language is also present. Vampire Therapist was developed in consultation with licensed therapists, but it should not be considered a substitute for therapy, unless you are a vampire. Well, I'm an alien, not a
My name is
vampire.
Sam Walls, and I'm a dead man.
Dead man.
Well, kinda dead at least. See, I'm a vampire. Now, if you think that means all that Dracula hooey, like hissing, wearing skin-tight leather, and hunting mortals for sport, I wouldn't blame you one bit. That's exactly the sort of thing I did in my younger years with my former gang. And let me tell you, a vampire who's good with a gun can be a real terror. I got lucky though. I met some kind mortals who saw beyond my fangs. They taught me my letters and showed me how my thinking was keeping me from finding any kind of peace. After they passed on, I roamed America's majestic wilderness for nigh on 90 years, figuring out myself and what it means to be a
Alone?
vampire. And I found revelation. What I realized was, it ain't fangs that make us monsters. It's the self-defeating ways we think. Anywho, as the
Hello,
world
guy.
started getting
It's
smaller,
beginning.
my old vampire gang tracked me down. Them being my kin, I wanted to help them see the world like I did, but they still have the same monster mindset I used to have. Good thing I'm a quick draw. But I got hooked up with this newfangled internet thing and found a vampire who's helping my kin find their way. Fella named Andromachos.
Andromachos.
3,000 years old.
What a
He
name.
invited me to come out to Europe to learn from him. I figure someone older than time has got to have the answers. I'm going on a trip, I guess. This feels like my opportunity to do some good in the world. I've been lucky, and now it's time to give back.
I've been so lucky.
Vampires ain't monsters. Or at least, they don't have to be. And come hell or high water, I'm gonna prove it to them.
Suspicious. Vampires, not monsters. Leipzig.
Well, I think this
This
is the
year.
address. Number
Well,
27.
last year.
Clean Flitter Mouse Streeb?
Can't wait to project my real emotional issues to these vampire characters and use the advice given as if it meant. Be careful. But this game was developed with the help of actual therapists, so who knows, maybe it could be helpful, but don't take it too seriously. And this, I really need this therapy because Astarion dumped me. Kleinfeld Mossetstrasse.
Sure is a hell of a lot of ruckus for this time of night. People stay up late here.
Immernacht.
Wait a minute. These folk are vampires. Better watch myself.
Oh my, vampires.
Guten Abend, folks. Sprechen Sie English?
Sprechen Sie. Halsin with a set of plastic fangs. But you know how Halsin can turn into any kind of animal, and those can have quite big fangs. Isn't that should be even better than plastic fangs? Also, I ended up, well, proceeding with romance with Gale, and I got that romance scene with that weird astral whatever fuckery that was. That was so... I was so shocked. It was... I didn't expect that. I had managed to avoid the spoilers for that. I was speechless. Not that I was speaking anyway, because I wasn't streaming, but still.
Ja, hello, Alta. Are you here to party with us at the hottest club?
Oh, that sounds so cozy. Hello, Alter. Alter. Hottest club? What should I do? Why am I here?
Well, what's so special about this club?
Immernacht is the greatest club aller Zeiten. The owner makes sure everyone has a good time.
Maxi.
If anyone acts without respect, they are banned from the club forever.
Forever. Well, if it's about vampires, so it can be quite long. Forever.
You are free to do and be whatever you like, as long as you are harming no one.
Und I hear that they are now attracting sexy old cowboys.
Shh, Maxi, he is old enough to be your grandfather.
And Reinhardt isn't? Cowboy goth. Well, there's the chance. But these guys are vampires too. Why don't they have red eyes like this cowboy here?
Oh, come on now. You're just flattering me. I'm only a couple 100 years old.
Only a couple 100 years old.
Oh mein Gott, he is so cute, Reinhard. Can I keep him?
If you can be whatever you want to be, I guess the dress code is quite free.
I don't think what I'm wearing will fit the dress code.
Sam, no.
The cowboy look is totally sexy, but you will get a bit sweaty.
And you want with all that leather?
I hope we will all get a bit sweaty.
Good thing we run a little on the cold side, huh?
Don't worry, my Liebling. We make each other warm.
Mein Liebling.
Reinhard, stop. Don't scare the American. I want to do that.
Maxi Liebchen, you're so naughty tonight.
No, you are the naughty one.
Oh, I definitely ain't an American no more. I'm looking for Andromachos.
This video I saw posted that is permanently seared into my brain. Sounds scary.
You mean the club owner? Ja, that is why we are here.
So this very Makho Andro Makho man is the club owner.
If you're lucky, he will invite us to the private party at the end of the night.
There will be a private party too.
Well, what happens there?
I think maybe it is too kinky for Americans to hear.
Well, Sam is here to party.
I can cut loose. What kind of party is this?
The kind where we dance all night and get sexy.
Bunch of people at a cosplay convention wearing stuff like latex suits. Samus. Cosplay? Okay. Typical convention. Literally pull sweat out of those suits. Lovely. It must have been pretty hot at that con.
Oh, you're them kind of vampires.
Them kind of
Ach
vampires.
so, there are better things to suck than blood, oder?
Well, I went swimming today, and I was there in the same soup with a lot of retired people and also some kids. Mostly, probably retired people. Old people soup. Good for swimming. Yeah, and the water is kind of chemically in the swimming hole.
Although we have to get past the bouncer first. If we do not, I'm thinking our night is ruined.
Why is Sam glowing? I don't think you typically sweat while swimming since the water will... I don't see why you wouldn't sweat while swimming. Is there a mechanism that stops the sweating from happening if you get hot while in water? Because I don't think it makes sense that there would be something like that. I guess it's also pretty difficult to measure. Typically. What do you mean typically?
Oh, wait a sec. There's something about what she just said. I can feel it.
It's less likely because the water is already bleeding heat. Well... Typical kinky German couple. Yeah, they don't have red eyes, so it is suspicious. Typical Germans. I wonder. But, well, when I was swimming, like my face, it got pretty hot. I swam like my head above the water. It got really hot. And well, I suspect that I probably was sweating, but it's just, it's liquid. And water is liquid, so it's not like you can really separate those.
It reminds me of one of my revelations about the funny patterns in the way we vampires think. Well, let's see. One type of thinking I noticed I called hot branding. That's when we brand ourselves with names we can't get rid of.
Hot branding.
There's high noon mind. That's when we treat a situation like it's a do or die showdown.
High noon mind.
And there's saloon thinking. That's when we act either helpless or invincible, like we've just drunk a pint of moonshine.
Oh no, this requires studying.
I can always check my journal
Focus.
if I need examples. I kept all my notes about the funny ways we vampires think in there. I think I know which one of them funny ways they're thinking in, though. Hold on, compadres. You seem like the kind who can make their own fun.
I don't want to have my own fun. Imenacht is the only place to be on Friday night.
Collected notes of Sam Walls. Cowboy bloodsucker at vmail.com. I found this old notebook and figured I'd take it with me to Europe. I figure it'll help me organize my thoughts. I'll separate it into sections so I can jump to them right quick. That way when I need to get to a particular section of my notes, all I gotta do is hop over to that section. Easy as falling off a horse, and falling off a horse is real easy. Hello Minna. Welcome to Vampire Therapist. Cognitive, the funny ways. What was this hot branding? We might sometimes call ourselves awful names. I'm a failure, I'm unlikable. It's like burning ourselves with a big old branding iron. Every time we look at ourselves, we'll keep seeing those names. Hot branding is just calling ourselves names that do no good. Salon thinking was a lot of us bloodsuckers have a habit either of feeling responsibility or sole control or feeling completely hopeless. This is usually neither. Thing is, usually neither is true. Feeling hopeless don't mean we are powerless, and feeling untouchable don't mean we are invincible. That's saloon thinking. Either way, our real capabilities are somewhere in between. I think here is going on the high noon mind. Sometimes things can seem black and white, win or lose, famine or feast, live or die, like everything's a big showdown. It can feel like we've got only two options, winning today or ending up with a stake in the heart. That's high noon mind. It's thinking in extremes and ignoring all the in-between. We stress ourselves out when stakes are high. Okay, can we close this? Yes. So let's pick high noon mind.
Amigos, you're putting too much weight on this thing. It's a nightclub, not a high noon showdown. The night's full of possibilities.
Night's full of possibilities. So it's fine even if we don't get in.
Reinhardt, I don't know what this means, but I like the way the sexy American talks.
You make us think that maybe it is better we haven't gotten into the club, because we are now meeting you.
Hey, if meeting me makes your night better, I'm glad we met. I really gotta find Andromachos, though.
And Andromachos was keeping the club.
You have to get past the bouncer. He decides who gets in and who doesn't. And he hasn't looked our way all night.
Oh no.
Maybe I'll have a little word with him. Excuse me, friend. I hear you're the man to talk to around these parts.
This friend looks kinda imposing.
I'm here to see Andromachos.
Have fun, mate.
Hey, thanks, amigo. You have yourself a fine night, you hear?
Cowboy, what about us?
Let's bring them joy.
Yeah, sure, they're friends of mine.
We just met.
Have fun, mate.
Well, come on, you two. We ain't got all night. Yeah.
So we got into the
Loud in here.
vampire club.
Come on, my liver, dance with us!
Oh, you kids have fun. I'll catch up with you later. Tarnation, I'd rather hear a gopher giving birth than this.
Our nation doesn't like the music. Yeah, it kinda sounds European.
I better talk to whoever's slinging drinks in this here saloon. They ought to know where Andromachos is. But pardon me, ma'am.
Well, well, look at you. We get a lot of 80s fashion in here, but not usually the 1880s. What can I get you, cowboy? The special's Red Bull and vodka. You down?
What about the blood?
I never drink Red Bull. I'm actually looking for the owner. He around tonight?
Might be. What do you say your name was?
Sam Walls, begging your pardon.
Sam Walls, huh? I don't think I know anything about a Sam Walls. After all, I'm just a know-nothing bartender.
That was hot branding.
From where I'm standing, I see someone with style and confidence, not just a drink machine. Don't go branding yourself like that's all you are.
Don't you go worrying about me, cowboy. The man upstairs warned me you were coming. I was just testing to see if you are who you say you are.
Okay.
Tell you what, let me give you something from our special reserve. I don't think you're looking for boots.
Well, thank you kindly, ma'am. I was wondering where the blood was. I met some vampires outside, so I figured this was a vampire club.
You met some goths, honey. They're here to dance and have fun.
So they were just a typical German couple.
So all these people are mortals?
How do you think the head vampire gets his blood? They can't wait to share it with him. It's a special experience. He's the only real vampire here. Well, him and Bert.
Who's Bert?
Bert?
You met him already. Bert, shuffle on over here.
The bouncer?
This one's here to see the big guy. Show him upstairs, okay?
Have fun, mate.
Good luck up there, cowboy. Hope you find what you're looking for.
But why was I going to see this Mako?
Howdy. It's Sam Walls to see you, sir. The guy who's been sending you all them V-mails.
Why has Sam been sending those emails to him?
Yes, I know who you are, Samuel Walls. You have come here because you believe you can help our kin. The question is, are you first able to help yourself?
They are. They are. These- like the ones in Twilight. But those eyes, they're those pupils, they are weird shape. Like cat eyes. Mm. Oh no. If he's a witcher, he's here to kill us. Can I help myself? What a difficult question. I can't.
I don't know that I can help myself, but I'm trying my best.
Then you have already learned the most important thing I can teach. We all need help, Samuel. I am pleased that you have come to receive mine.
We have come to receive this Mako guy's help.
Dang, you scared the heck out of me.
Stepping out of shadows. So scary.
You must allow an ancient vampire his games. He will play them regardless. Please, sit down. What an absolute pleasure it is to meet you at last. I found your messages most intriguing.
He looks so happy. Andrew Knuckles.
Afraid there ain't much here in the way of intrigue. I'm just a lonesome cowboy looking for answers.
Lonesome cowboy like in Brokeback Mountain.
You know, I receive emails every day from vampires seeking my help. You are the very first to seek my aid in helping others. This alone makes you intriguing.
Well, dang. I think you're gonna be sorely disappointed when you get to talking to me. I'm just honored you're giving me the time of night.
Time of night.
I have unlimited time, Samuel. I am pleased to share some of it with you. Our kind can be rather set in their ways. It is inspiring to see someone so young and eager to learn.
So young.
Yeah, well, I wasn't much for learning when I was alive. Just making up for lost time, I guess.
It sounds as though you have been handling your own life better than most. I was particularly intrigued by these revelations you had while walking in nature.
Oh, yeah, them. Well, I give walking the credit. Nothing sorts my thoughts out better. After a few decades, I started seeing patterns in the way we vampires think.
Can you explain some of these patterns?
I've tried to explain them to other vampires, but it ain't never gone well. I can try, though. See, we tend to assume certain things just because we've been believing them since we were alive.
Assume certain things just because we've been believing them since we were alive.
Or we decide the world's against us just because we're hungry or tired or something. And when we start tackling problems that ain't real, we ain't fixing our real problems. That make any kind of sense?
It makes sense. To me, at least, but I'm not a vampire.
Fascinating, Samuel. These revelations that you had in the woods, mortal psychologists have a term for them. They are called cognitive distortions.
Cognitive distortion.
Cognitive who's what now?
Cognitive distortions. They are exactly as you described them. I will explain in a moment. Please, tell me about these specific revelations you had.
Explain,
I realize that as vampires, we can get the feeling of the power that comes with immortality and strength, but then we get hopeless and aimless over time.
What does this mean? Feeling of power that comes with immortality and strength, but we get hopeless and aimless over time.
It's kind of like the fella you see in the saloon at the bottom of a bottle of whiskey. Either he thinks he can fight everyone, or he's crying into them last drops because he thinks life's hopeless.
Can do everything or can do nothing. And there's no in between.
It's saloon thinking. Two extremes that probably ain't true.
A fascinating observation, Samuel. Your saloon thinking was described in my time as the battle between hubris and nemesis, the twin excesses of arrogance and self-pity.
Hubris and nemesis. Is this Andromachos an ancient Greek vampire?
Oh man, it make me wish I'd gotten some schooling. Maybe I would have figured this stuff out earlier.
You live forever, my friend. There is no rush.
I wish that was true for me too.
What you have identified is a phenomenon where individuals perceive either an illusion of control or a lack of control. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon you have described a control fallacy.
Control fallacy.
Rarely do we have complete power over our situations or no power at all. But we create this illusion that stops us from attempting to change our perceived situations.
Thanks to the power of denial, I'm immortal. Yeah. Kind of same, to be honest. Like, it's like I expect to live on and on and on and on forever. But I know it will end at some point, but there's nothing after that, so kinda.
Yeah, you're right about that. I used to think I'd never get away from my gang, and maybe that's what made me stick with them for so long.
Yes, you see how cognitive distortions keep us from facing reality, whatever that reality may be. Of course, I am so old and powerful that I am always in control.
So old and powerful that always in control. Is this the control fallacy? It kinda sounds also like hot branding, but hot branding was supposed to be negative.
Oh, you're testing me, ain't you? That's a control fallacy right there.
Well done, Samuel. I am indeed very powerful, but the cosmos holds no awareness of Andromachos.
Andromachos.
Of course, as you expertly pointed out with your analogy about the man at the bottom of a whiskey bottle, a control fallacy can be positive or negative. Listen to my next few statements and try to find a control fallacy. Simply let me continue if you do not detect one.
This is studying! This is studying!
The sun will eventually burn out. I will roam a cold, dead earth, and there is little I can do about it.
I don't think that's a fallacy.
My kitty cat died. I shall be lonely forever.
I guess that's a control fallacy.
I'm sorry about your sweet kitty, but you can always pick up a new one. Or there's lots of them just waiting for a loving home, so you don't need to be lonely.
It was just an example, Samuel. Well spotted. But I do speak from experience. I felt this way once when a pharaoh I was dating had our cat mummified.
What a weird thing to say.
I went into a murderous depression that nearly decimated the continent. But I had the power to help myself all along by adopting a new friend in need of a home.
What did he do?
Oh dang, don't let me get on your bad side.
I doubt you shall see it, Samuel. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
Let's go with hot branding.
See, I used to be in a gang. They were my whole existence. If you asked me who I was, I would have said, I'm a murdering bastard. Once I got away, I realized how small-minded that was. I was Sam before I was a murdering bastard, but that's how I was choosing to brand myself. My old gang's still around, and they're still branding themselves like that. They can't see themselves as anything but killers.
Poor thing.
Samuel. I favor the clinical term, however, which is labeling.
Labeling.
You correctly discovered that labeling is a reductive act. When we call ourselves names, even if we find them accurate, we create prophecies we are doomed to fulfill. For millennia, I thought of myself as a killer. It was not untrue that killing was how I made my way in the world. I was an unstoppable warrior and assassin.
Unstoppable.
But with this label, I limited myself for ages. I did not only kill people, I also killed potential aspirations I might have had. See whether you can catch me doing some labeling in my next few statements.
Oh, labeling is the thing. Oh yeah, like when kids are like, I'm so bad at math, they are like doing the labeling right there because they could learn math, but they label themselves as bad at it, so they don't even try.
I am so old, I am ancient. Call me whatever you like, but don't call me late for dinner. How shall I describe myself? Yes, I am a mass murderer.
But he probably is.
It seems you have missed my labeling. Let us begin once more.
No. I didn't.
I am so old, call me whatever you like, but don't call... How shall I describe myself?
Well, that's about as clear a labeling as it gets. Yeah, we vampires tend to do a lot of killing, but reducing ourselves to killers ain't doing us any favors.
Excellent, Samuel. You are correct. Labels can be cages that we lock ourselves in. I was a mere murderer for most of my existence because that is how I labeled myself.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Sam Walls, murderer, reprobate, and good for nothing.
But are they still murdering?
Those are not how I would describe the Sam Walls I see before me. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
Yes.
Well, I noticed how we stress ourselves out by making everything a battle of do-or-die absolutes. High noon mind, I call it. Like that feeling you get right before a big shootout.
I must confess I have no experience with this feeling. I engaged in mortal combat long before the age of gunpowder. But the sentiment you describe mirrors the words of my old friend Marcus Aurelius. He used to say that the magnitude of life's challenges often turn us into our worst selves.
You mean Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor?
Of course, his name was Marcus. Marcus was a bit...
You mean you and the emperor were...
It was ancient Rome. Penetration was similar to a handshake. My apologies. I somehow forgot you were American. But let us discuss this high noon mine. I believe we can broaden your definition. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon of binary thought polarized thinking, but I like to call it Nosferatu thinking.
Nosferatu thinking. Why?
Nosferatu thinking?
It means you are thinking in black and white.
I get it. That's pretty funny.
Ah, I see.
I believe it encompasses the breadth of the distortion.
So
One
it's
is not
because of
flatly
the
weak or
black and
strong,
white movies.
good or evil, smart or stupid, a success or a failure. The truth is far more complex and colorful. Not every high noon gunfight ends in oblivion, correct?
Yeah, that's true. Getting shot still ain't fun, but it ain't the end neither.
A perfect example, Samuel. Now, try to catch me using Nosferatu thinking.
Want some beef stew? Well, make some. How else are you going to get it? Stew sounds delicious, but I have had my food for today already. It was soup.
I will give you a series of statements, and one of them will contain Nosferatu thinking. I will repeat them if you miss it. If I do not drink blood, I will surely die.
No.
Death eventually comes for us all.
Yeah? What?
Mortals will always fear our kind.
That must be it.
That's Nosferatu thinking right there. I've met mortals who knew who I was and weren't scared.
Very good, Samuel. And even if you hadn't, to say mortals will always fear us ends any hope that they might not. Always is such a terminal word, is it not?
Yes.
Would you like to discuss more of your revelations with me?
I think that's all of them. Or at least the ones that were the most obvious to me.
That you recognize the concept of cognitive distortions at all is most impressive, Samuel. What took me nearly 3 millennia to understand took you merely 2 centuries.
Oh, come on, you're just flattering me. I'm just a dope stumbling his way through one life.
Are you now? Tell me, Samuel, what kind of cognitive distortion are you exhibiting when you call yourself a dope?
Yeah, I'm doing some labeling. I gotta watch myself, huh?
Yeah.
As long as we retain any humanity, we will have cognitive distortions. What we are aiming for is not to become perfect beings, but to understand and accept ourselves. As long as we can recognize cognitive distortions, we can address our real challenges. One cannot drink blood from a straw man, after all.
But can one drink blood with a straw?
I ain't never heard that one before, but I like it.
Me too.
If it helps solidify the concept in your mind, then I am well satisfied. I know you came to learn from me, so I will do my best to honor your good intentions. Let us ensure that you understand the concepts of labeling, control fallacies, and Nosferatu thinking. I will give you a series of statements, and each one will contain a cognitive distortion for you to identify. I will begin.
What a fun game.
If I invite over my vampire friends, I know I'm going to have to deal with guano all over the place when they turn into bats at the end of the night.
Is it the control fallacy?
That there's a control fallacy, sir. You're acting like you've got no control, but you could lay down some ground rules for guests, or some newspaper.
Or express concern to my friends that they have not been toilet trained. Very good, Samuel. Let me try another. I am Andromachus, the ancient darkness, the scourge of the Mediterranean, the mortal's bane.
Well, that's definitely some intense labeling. Those are some hard names to get over.
You are not wrong. Those names followed me for millennia. It was most stifling. Let me try another then. If my club's revenues do not significantly increase, I will end up living on the street.
Like there is no other option. So it's...
That there's gotta be Nosferatu thinking. There's a huge space between making a ton of profit and living on the street.
Indeed, you are correct. I run my club at a considerable loss, but 3,000 years of banking interest means that money is not really an object to me anyway. Samuel, now I am not only intrigued by you, but also impressed. I would very much like to teach you my ways, but I must demand something of you first.
He looks so suspicious when he's smiling so happily like that.
Anything. I'm here to learn.
You must receive therapy yourself. Not have you seen clients without a commitment to your own mental health.
That's the typical way therapists done, I guess. The therapists need to see therapists too.
Oh, now, hold on just a minute. I don't know that I need therapy. I'm feeling pretty good about myself these days.
Samuel, we all need therapy to live in this world. You have been speaking in cognitive distortions since the moment you walked into my office.
I have. I didn't even notice.
They are most insidious, but I am here to help you identify and challenge them. You have walked alone for too long, Samuel. Allow me to share my experience with you.
Please do, Catman.
Well, all right, if you say so. I appreciate your taking the time to work on this old cowpoke.
Cowpoke? That's new.
We have all the time in the world, Samuel. But for now, you must be eager for something fresh. Please, dance, drink your fill. We will begin tomorrow.
Okay, then. Well, sir, it's been an honor.
You don't have to call me sir, you know.
All right, then, Andromachos.
Is that a bedroom name?
Andromachos.
Andromachos.
Hey, Andromachos.
Just call me Andy.
Andy.
All right, Andy. I'll see you tomorrow then.
And then let's party.
Look at all them mortals, sweating, blood pumping. I am thirsty. There ain't no power on this earth that'll get me on a dance floor.
No power on this earth that'll get me on a dance floor. Is that Nosferatu thinking? Or
Maybe I'll see if the bartender's got anything for me.
If it isn't Clint Eastwood again, how'd it go, cowboy?
Seems I'll be sticking around. Guess I'd better get used to things around here.
Good to hear. About time someone helped Andy with his work. Seems you vampires have a lot of problems to face. Name's Crimson, by the way.
Fine meeting you, Crimson. How do you know so much about what Andy's doing?
Pillow talk. I'm his blood partner.
No shit. How's a mortal get hooked up with an ancient vampire?
blood partner?
I'm a rock climber. I stumbled into one of his lairs in Madagascar, found a cave while climbing a mountain, and there he was, naked in a hot tub.
What?
Dang. Must have been a sight.
You ain't kidding, cowboy. Didn't expect a luxury apartment with a gorgeous naked vampire inside of a mountain. We hit it off, and he asked me to come back here with him. I like an adventure, so I said, what the hell? I'll date the gorgeous Dracula. But what are you doing talking to me, cowboy? The blood's running hot on the dance floor, and these kids don't mind a little biting.
Ain't no way I'm dancing. There's gotta be a better way to get something fresh to drink.
But what about the nice German couple?
Reinhard, look, it's the sexy old guy again.
You should buy us a drink, old guy. You'll probably get lucky. Actually, You will definitely get lucky.
There's your meal.
Pleasures of the flesh ain't exactly what I'm after tonight.
That's because you haven't experienced these pleasures with us yet. Buy us a drink and you will discover great satisfaction by uns.
Well, maybe we Europeans are like that.
I ain't buying you a drink. You ain't exactly my type.
But what's Sam's type?
Oh, we don't want to marry you. We just want to have fun with you.
You kids are too much. Look, kids, you seem like nice enough folks, but I wasn't planning on buying drinks tonight.
Stop teasing the cowboy, Kinder. They're just messing with you. Drinks are free here.
Free drinks. What the? What kind of bar is this?
Dang, really? I ain't never been to a saloon with free hooch.
Call it a drink exchange.
I don't think that would that would work even in Central Europe.
Huh. So, everyone here knows they might be sharing blood?
Only as long as there's consent. We like to create a safe environment here.
With unlimited alcohol without you having to buy it.
Why don't you take Reinhard and Maxie here back to the kink room?
Why are you pushing poor Sam to hook up with them?
Wait, kink room?
Mm-hmm. You're not in Kansas anymore, cowboy. We are not afraid of sex here.
I'm from Missouri, but point taken.
Nobody has to do anything they don't want to do in there. Just have fun and drink your fill, handsome. I'm sure I'll be seeing plenty of you. Maxie, Reinhard, this is one of our special customers.
Ach so, ein Vampir. I'm thinking we are all getting lucky then.
Oh.
My neck throbs with anticipation.
Dang. Guess I'm going to a kink room then. Thanks, Crimson.
I knew a man who wore this much leather couldn't be boring.
So many people went to Germany and were disappointed that they were not in fact all sexually promiscuous rape thoughts, and were in fact perhaps more autistic and than the average American. Oh. Poor things. That they didn't meet the ones like that. I guess there are like most of them are very well, people around Europe and like in my country, they are pretty conservative mostly, but I guess the people who are more liberal and more sexually free are usually maybe the ones who are more educated, who speak more languages, and thus show themselves to the outside world more. So that could be it. Maybe. It's the opposite here. For America, it's like, yeah, people from outside world, they can like read your newspapers and stuff like that, because these days everybody, well, not everybody, but like the people who are interested in what happens in other places besides their country, they usually know English. Smart people tend to have bad experiences with the general public and become more reclusive. Well, that also happens here, but among the other well-educated people, they can be liberal.
Yeah, well, you got me pegged.
Sam, that word choice.
Is that what we are doing now? Give me the document and I will sign myself up for it.
I really ain't in Missouri no more. Look, I'm more into biting.
Oh, your teeth look perfect. Are you going to bite me, Vitzos?
That's the plan. Who's going first?
Oh, me.
Well, step right on up. Remember, Sammy boy, just stick the tips of them fangs into the blue veins and we'll all have a nice time.
No! What? No. No.
Oh, das hat sich gut angefühlt.
Why is it so difficult to find?
Oh, that's a good thing.
I don't know if I did it right or not.
Is it my turn yet?
Well, sure thing. Come on over.
Like, what the? Where am I supposed to bite? Europeans are also all wiggly.
Oh, Reinhard, the hot old vampire wore me out.
Oh no! Did I pick the wrong way?
Me too, Maxi. I feel as though I have set up a mail server.
What?
Reinhard, mein Sucke Fledermaus. Ich bin so müde, sexy zu sein.
I will get us a taxi cab, Liebchen. Und du, Cowboy? Next time we will talk about that thing you mentioned earlier.
What thing? Again? All IT people. Okay, that does make sense. That, well, you know, because most European people you meet on the internet are probably IT people. Or well educated and liberal enough to talk to people from other countries.
Oh, right, that thing.
That thing. What thing?
Now that I've had something to drink, I should probably get to my coffin.
You have a coffin. Where is it?
Samuel, wait a moment. I see you got your fill. Are you heading out?
Yeah, I figure I could use some shut-eye. I locked up my coffin over at the storage center.
Storage center.
Storage center. Please, you can use my guest coffin. I insist. You must
Yes.
be well rested for the challenges ahead.
Guest coffin.
Guess I got a big night tomorrow, huh? I should get a good day's sleep.
Wonderful. Please, follow me.
Well, dang. This is mighty plush. Guess it's one of them smart coffins.
Smart coffin.
Let's see what's on TV. Hey, I remember this movie. We were so proud to finally get some representation. Not sure I should stay up watching movies, though.
Scary movie. Are they going to stake you?
Well, ain't much else to do in here. I think it's about time I hit the hay. Hope I'm cut out for all this.
Samuel, good evening. I hope you slept well.
Phew, what a day. I made it to Andy's club in Leipzig. Folks are real nice here. A couple of gods were real friendly. They got a darn-tooting bartender and even a friendly greeter. He don't talk too much, but I can tell he's an introspective sort. No, Andy, that's one hell of a vampire. He's just got this presence. You can tell he's 3000 and that is freaky as heck, but he makes you feel at home. But naked. I don't know how else to describe it. Oh, and I went to a kink room. Yeah, Sam Wall's kink room. My big brother would have gotten a kick out of that one. I ain't gonna write about it here. I should get some sleep in this fancy coffin Andy lent me anyway. Ain't nothing more to read. Oh, there were other stuff. It's been about a week since I boarded the Monster of the Seas cruise ship, and I gotta say I feel finer than frog hair. People here are eating and screwing like there's no tomorrow on account of the fact that we are in the middle of the ocean. I've drunk from more necks in the last week than I can count. And since the ship's open all night, I rode a water slide for the first time in my unlife. People were laughing at me for saying yeehaw, but what else do you say to an experience like that? Landed in Rotterdam the other day, in Amsterdam now arranging transportation for my coffin. Did some vampire sightseeing. Apparently this place has been accepting of heathens like us for a long time. I went to a vampire coffee shop. They funnel in the stoners from upstairs to a secret club and everyone has themselves a grand old time. Gave me the munchies something fierce. I could go for some blood chips. Extra sodium, if you please. Writing from Berlin today. I head to Leipzig tomorrow night, but figured I should check things out here. They got a club here where people are up all night doing all kinds of kinky stuff. I'm pushing a quarter of a millennium in years, but these folk could give me some lessons, and did. Met some fine folk too. Apparently they've got a nice art scene here. There's even local funding for video game development. Ain't this some kind of world? I can't believe people are still playing Star Invaders and whatnot. I like it here. I don't even have to speak German. Okay. What else do we have here? We have labeling and Nosferatu thinking and control fallacy. Okay.
Like the dead, as they say.
I was hoping to save you some breakfast, but I've already sent them on their way.
Already sent them on their way. Oh.
Oh, that's all right. I'm still pretty full from last night.
Yeah, you drank from 2 vampires. No, not vampires. Vampires. You are a vampire. You drank from humans.
Them goth types were practically throwing themselves at me.
Yeah, they were.
I am not surprised. Perhaps I should be concerned that some of my guests will follow you home.
Well, gosh, if I still had mortal circulation, I'd be blushing.
Why are you so embarrassed, Samuel?
Ah, hell. Guess we should just save it for therapy, huh? We gonna get started now?
Oh, stretch time. So stretch time. Ah. I sure need to remember to stretch properly before going to bed tonight because of that swimming. I don't wanna hurt all over tomorrow. Little stretch done.
If you like.
Why not? I'm eager to get going. Let loose, Doc.
Very well. Let's start with the first question any therapist asks then. What brought you to me? Why is becoming a therapist so important to you?
Well, gosh, I remember what it was like. Being all angry, hungry, and scared all the time. It ain't no way to live.
Or unlive.
When I see vampires acting the way I used to, I just need to show them there's more to unlife.
Oh, thank you. I thought it would be nice little something for this because I didn't have anything really prepared for this. But black and white are vampire colors, along with red. At least to me. I don't have any red.
And why is that up to you?
You, of all people, know how lost our kind can be. Preying on the weak, dating mortal high schoolers.
Dating mortal high schoolers.
I've got to make them see their potential. That's what I'm here for. I know it.
Are we going to make a vampire that dates mortal high schoolers how wrong they are in their ways?
That is a lot of responsibility to place on yourself.
Yes.
You got a funny look in your eye. Am I doing one of them distortion things?
Right, so lucky. And that would be an angry version of me, I suppose. But I'm rarely angry.
You are most perceptive, yes. Perhaps you can tell me what it is. When you say you are here to make vampires see the world differently, in what way are you distorting reality?
Make vampires see the world differently. Is that a control fallacy? Because he doesn't really have the power. Crimson Vampire Solaci. I really want to make a vampire model at some point, but I really need to I want to play Baldur's Gate, so I will still be sucked up in it before I can start new projects.
Well, I guess that's a control fallacy, right? I can't assume I'll be able to help other vampires the way I was helped.
Very good, Samuel. Control fallacies are hard to avoid when one feels strongly about something. Your fate is not to transform every vampire you ever meet, even those who are your clients. You will do what you can do, and that is enough. But I am eager to learn how you developed this desire to help our kin find a different way of thinking.
Well, like I told you when I first V-mailed you, I was a real nasty son of a bitch when I first became a vampire. When I look back and see what a no-account piece of shit I was, I ain't nothing but embarrassed. It all seems pretty stupid to me now. Here we are living forever and all we can do is kill? It's the dumbest thing I ever did here.
I am going to stop you for a moment. Stupid, no account piece of shit, nasty son of a bitch, dumbest thing. Do you hear the way you are talking about yourself?
With respect, sir, I earned all them names. I killed women and children. Half the ghost towns out west are my doing. I didn't think of nobody but myself.
Pretend you are my therapist. If I sat here and called myself a no-account piece of shit, what would you tell me?
I'd say you were doing some labeling. And I guess I'd tell you to look at yourself a little more kindly.
Extend the same compassion to yourself then, Samuel. How are you to move on from being a nasty son of a bitch if you are labeling yourself? If you wish to be a guide to other vampires, you must start with compassion for them and for yourself. So, now that you've gotten all that horrible name-calling out of the way, please tell me, how did you find your sense of purpose?
The purpose of changing the ways of vampires.
Well, I was on the run, you see. The Wild West was ending and the Pinkertons were starting to get the better of my gang.
Pinkertons?
I went into hiding and found a strange group of folks out in the country. They knew I was an outlaw right away, but they didn't judge me for it. They didn't even care that I was a vampire. They welcomed me like a friend, even shared their blood with me. They taught me how to appreciate the beauty of the night, and I started seeing things I'd never noticed before. They taught me my letters, philosophy, and how to question things instead of being scared of them. I think about them every day of my own life. They somehow freed themselves of all the judgments of the time and were better off for it.
Super high colored Victorian capes, dresses. It should be something extra vampire-like, and Victorian style is vampire-like. At least it's like something that I associate with vampires. Yes.
These must have been the 19th century American transcendentalists, yes?
Transcendentalists.
Yes, sir. I'm glad I died when I did, because their like just don't exist no more. Once my community died out, I started walking. That was something else they taught me how to do. There ain't nothing like having a walk and a think. I walked in nature for about 90 years, and just took in all the grace and beauty of my country.
Or but should I have like what was that vampire movie where there was this, was it even Dracula, who had this weird hair thing that was kind of a little bit like boobs or horns or something like that? Should I have that kind of hairstyle in my vampire form? I think that would be pretty awful, but something to consider. It's horrible, yeah. But there might be something good about it. Not exactly like that, but like I could take something out of that. For the style. Point redeem. That would be funny. I need to write that down or have a little sketch about it or something so I remember that. Point redeem. Okay, I have written that down. Pure white streak in your crimson hair. Crimson hair. I don't want crimson hair. Crimson has to be like used very sparingly. It doesn't work otherwise for me. But it's totally out of my color scheme.
I guess I was kind of selfish, though. I should have been helping other vampires the way the Transcendentalists helped me.
Why?
Why waste 90 years walking when I should have been helping others? Seems pretty obvious to me. I could have done a lot of good in that time.
But your should turns that which you could find fulfilling into a duty. You create an extrinsic motivator. Should statements are another cognitive distortion, something created by your own mind. Nature asks almost nothing of you.
Should statements. Let's see that. Should statements. Sometimes we judge others and ourselves with arbitrary rules on how things should be. And then we get hopping mad when our expectations aren't met. Should statements can put a lot of pressure on us, but there ain't too many universal rules. Heck, we should probably be dead because our hearts ain't beating, but it seems that ain't true. Also do a very pale blue icy queen king vampire. Yes. I think like my vampire form would have to should. It should have a color scheme that would be similar to well my current model's color scheme, but not black and white like it's now.
Even if your should comes from a place of good, it creates undue pressure. And what do we do once we are pressured? We resent the shoulds. We procrastinate. And as you know, we have a lot of time to procrastinate.
You got that right. Why do today what you could do next century?
Exactly. Should statements remove the intrinsic joy from that which you find fulfilling?
Hold on, though. Ain't there some things we really should do?
Of course, there are things we must do, but nature herself tells us what they are. We invent the rest. Here, let me give you an exercise. Listen closely. See whether you can find the should statement that is a distortion. I should go to the vampire dentist. You know what they say. If you have bad fangs, you get bad blood. I should drink blood today. I should take my blood partner Crimson out on a date.
That's a should statement.
Saying you should take Crimson out on a date is a should statement. You've turned something you want to do into something you have to do.
That's right, Samuel. You know, I couldn't be more pleased with you. Your time in nature was clearly well spent.
Well, thanks, I suppose. But if you don't mind my saying so, I hope you're treating that mortal lady right.
Thank you. Please, ask her yourself.
She seemed happy.
I imagine she would share her blood with you. You look like her type.
Oh. So she's not only giving her blood to you.
Hold on. I've only been in Europe for a couple of days. I ain't gonna go after my teacher's girlfriend.
She does what she wishes, and that is why I chose her as my blood partner.
But what does it mean to be a blood partner if it's not that you drink her blood? Strigoi version of a vampire blood blue. Perhaps.
Samuel, even if it beats no longer, you have a good heart. I think you will be an excellent therapist.
So far, that good heart of mine hasn't amounted to much, but I'm willing to give it my best shot.
Yeah, his good heart isn't even beating.
You are uncomfortable with praise, aren't you, Samuel? Every time I say something positive, you find a way to negate it.
Oh no, it's a new one.
I just don't think I should be doing any bragging. I spent my first 50 years killing. I spent the next 90 walking in the woods. I've tried to walk a better path since then, but I ain't no saint, Auntie.
I ain't no saint, Andy.
I did not say you were. Having met several so-called saints, I can attest that none of them were either. I understand your discomfort, Samuel. I, too, have done terrible things that I cannot erase. But is erasing the good I have done worthwhile?
Well, I guess when you put it like that, it sounds kind of silly.
It's another cognitive distortion, one that mortal psychologists call disqualifying the positive.
Disqualifying the positive. Where is it? On an account of the nasty stuff I've done, I can feel like a real good for nothing sometimes, but that's disqualifying the positive, cancelling out the good, and leaving the bad. It ain't a distortion to see the positive in yourself or in a situation. It's just being honest. If you could turn into any mythical creature at will, what would you choose? That kinda depends on the myth. But something immortal, definitely. And intelligent. Something immortal and intelligent. But what? Like a vampire. It could be a vampire, or a dragon, or I don't know, some kind of god. What about you? Getting magic powers would be really awesome, but the immortality and being smart enough to enjoy it are the most important things. Will would also imply no control over changing back. Cleaning your mind while transformed. Ah. So. Well, dragon? Who wouldn't want to turn into a dragon and back?
I understand that the actions of your past are difficult to bear, but what we are here to do is accept reality, with both its positive and negative aspects.
A Wendigo. How very American of you. But why a Wendigo? Pretty generic response. Yeah. I'm pretty generic. I don't really have like a specific favorite mythical creature. But dragons are cool. Accept reality with both positive and negative.
I am not saying that you should disqualify your negative actions, but merely note when you disqualify the positive ones. Let us try an exercise. See whether you can challenge me when I disqualify my positive deeds. I am Andromachos, one of the most powerful vampires alive. Before I became the vampire I am now, I did exceptionally terrible things. I have defiled the innocent. I have killed countless people. The good I now do pales in comparison to the evil I have done.
Or like a basilisk. Back with another sex game. Another vampire game. This Sam here is the protagonist and he's so vanilla I don't think he's going to have sex, but who knows? Original chicken with a snake for a tail version. But is that... I would still prefer dragons because they are bigger and more powerful.
That's the one. You're literally disqualifying the positive by comparing it to the evil stuff you done.
Well done, Samuel. I believe the recognition of this distortion will serve you well when you start to see clients tomorrow.
Whoa, tomorrow? I only just started learning these here cognitive distortion things.
Basilisks can turn you to stone. But dragons can burn you to death and they are big enough to eat you in one month. Basilisk could kill a dragon. Maybe, but dragon could also kill a basilisk. Didoodle, what kind of magical being would you like to turn into? The way Guy has been describing it.
I will, of course, be with you. You needn't worry. I can sense your instincts.
Glump.
And will help you.
What's that? What is Clump? Indigos can twist and bend the forests around them. That sounds cool. I didn't know that. I know about nothing about Wendigos.
But tomorrow, I just don't feel ready yet.
My friend, we are never truly ready. But if it would ease your concerns, we can practice with further examples. Would that be helpful to you?
With Glonk. Well, what's Glonk?
Yeah, I think I could use the help.
There's nothing on dice. Little green creature? Why? Why would you want to turn into that? That's so sad.
Very well, Samuel. Let's try some examples. I will give you a statement, and you find the cognitive distortion in it. I am far sexier than movie vampires. Therefore, I should be a movie star.
Spirit animal. Oh. There is a should statement, but I think this is not a should statement. And it's not labeling because that's positive. Black and white thinking. Nosferatu thinking. Definitely not disqualifying the positive. What about control fallacy? Let's check. Labeling awful names. Arbitrary rules on how things should be. Okay, I guess that's a should statement.
Oh, yeah, that's an easy one. That's a should statement right there. But you're not insecure enough to be an actor anyway.
You're not insecure enough to be an actor anyway. What?
Excellent, Samuel. Would you like another exercise?
Yes, please.
If I cannot consume high-quality blood, I might as well drink blood from Florida.
What? That's Nosferatu thinking.
That's Nosferatu thinking, ain't it?
Correct, Samuel. That being said, I am sure there is still decent blood to drink in Florida, but I will bring a test kit anyway.
What? What's wrong with the blood in Florida?
Would you like another exercise? I am an antediluvian old fart.
Well, that sounds like labeling to me. You ain't just an old fart. Are you actually older than the flood, though?
Do I look that old?
Oh, not at all. I was just...
I am joking, Samuel. Don't worry. The myth of the flood was at least 1,000 years before I was born.
Florida is full of old people and has bad drug problems. Not the classy nicer drugs. Oh. Alright, so that's where they are.
Would you like another exercise? With my terrifying powers, I know I shall never be destroyed.
Terrifying powers shall never be destroyed. Florida beats Alabama with drugs. In drugs. Is that control fallacy?
I think that's a control fallacy, unless you know something I don't.
That's correct, Samuel. Though my powers are indeed phenomenal, the universe holds mysteries and dangers I cannot fathom.
Too, but Alabama has incest blood. Oh. But is that bad blood? Well, There might be strange mutations in the blood, but is that too bad? It's just blood.
Would you like another exercise? I may hold vast knowledge, but acquiring it was inevitable thanks to my immortality.
Wouldn't it be like Imagine a vampire holding a kind of a vampire cattle farm of people in Alabama because the vampire is breeding the humans like dogs and making them special kind of humans so that they taste better. And then it's about the ethics of it. Oh, ethics. Those kind of things. But I was thinking it about in vampire point of view. Books are becoming a bad breed to own because they straight up can't breathe. Yeah. Yeah, dogs are being bred horribly. But they could be bred to be more healthy. They could be. But like, if I was a vampire, I might want to have delicious blood, and it might be so that specific kind of humans only would produce that kind of blood. So I would want more humans like that, so I could have some delicious blood. If I had to choose a dog species to eat, I wouldn't them to suffer on top of that. Hmm. It may hold vast knowledge, but acquiring it was inevitable thanks to my immortality. Immortality inevitable. That's disqualifying the positive.
I know that one. That's disqualifying the positive for sure.
I knew you would catch that one.
Don't point that bitch.
Would you like another exercise? I am lazy and useless because I slept the night away in my coffin.
Because I slept the night away in my coffin. That's kind of labeling. But, Okay, it's labeling.
Well, that's just labeling, Chief. Ain't nothing wrong with having a sleep in once in a while.
Well done, Samuel. Would you like another exercise?
One more.
I got blood all over me the last time I drank. I am always so messy.
So messy. Always. Labeling.
I am making quite a judgment based on a single incident. What kind of distortion is that?
Oh, it wasn't labeling. I finally failed at this. So it looks like shaking when you fail.
I got blood all over me the last time I drank. I am always so messy.
Is that Nosferatu thinking?
Well, that sounds like Nosferatu thinking to me. Everyone has a messy feed from time to time.
That's absolutely right. The dry cleaning bill is punishment enough without the self-judgment. Would you like another exercise?
One more because I failed.
I should speak at least 300 languages, including Java. I will live forever after all.
Shoot. Is it shoot? This is hard again.
Well, that's That's one of them should
It
statements.
was should.
Nobody's making you learn Java.
Are you playing as Arthur Morgan? Well, this game didn't give you a choice for the main character. It is just this Sam guy here, who's an American vampire who came to Europe to meet with this Mako Andro guy.
Thank goodness for that.
Andromachos, Andy. And he wants to make... he wants to be a therapist, I suppose. For vampires. He's a vampire. They are both vampires.
Would you like another exercise?
I think I'm good for now.
I think I'm good.
All right, Samuel. You must be hungry now. I suggest you get the liter inside you. We have a big night tomorrow.
A liter of blood. That's quite a bit of blood.
How much is a liter?
Just get enough to drink, Samuel. We will not be able to work if you are hungry or tired. Now, please excuse me. I do have a date with Crimson tonight. I suspect I shall not return until nearly morning.
Oh, yeah, of course. I hope you have a nice night out, Mr. Andy.
You as well, Samuel. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Andy.
Ah, Samuel, glad to see you are awake. Your first client is on his way.
What, already? Look, Mr. Andy, sir, are you sure I'm ready for this? These are people's brains I'm messing with.
Wait, did we get a new... Yeah, I learned some more therapy stuff today. Figured I've been doing a lot of this disqualifying the positive thing. I feel like I've gotta be humble after the shit I pulled back when I was a bastard. But maybe that's just the shame talking. Andy says I'm ready to start seeing clients now that I've got my head wrapped around this whole cognitive distortion thing. Can't believe it's all happening so fast. Went for a nice walk exploring Leipzig. There's a music school here and the kids are always performing stuff. I tried asking for Oh Susanna, but kids today don't appreciate good music. Dang kids. With their CD-ROM music. The wax cylinder was fine. Okay.
Fear not, my friend. You are a powerful vampire in your own right. To be so young and have so much empathy is quite a gift. All you need to do is listen, and I know the truth will reveal itself to you.
Shucks, wish I had your confidence.
Well, to a limited extent, I can see the future. If you are about to misinterpret a client's distortions, I will set you back on the right path.
You can see the future. So, if we fail, we can turn back time.
You can see the future?
It's not that impressive, really. You start to see the patterns after 1,000 years or so.
Well, dang. If seeing the future ain't impressive, that's gotta be a distortion. Disqualifying the positive, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
You barely require my aid as it is. If you need guidance, I will provide it to you telepathically.
Yeah, thanks for the telepathic guidance.
Don't think about it too much. When you are 3,000, such things will cease to impress you. Let us look at your first client's case file.
Dr. Drain, huh? He ain't got no first name?
Dr. Train, age 430, male, English. Dr. Train is a class of 1614 graduate of the Royal College of Physicians. He has been studying the nature of blood for the last several centuries. Became a vampire after a post-mortem blood transfusion experiment. Now runs a global pharmaceutical research company. Is now concerned that he has developed an addiction to a drug of his own formulation. Suggestion. Detected strong irritability on the phone. Investigate Drain's drinking and sleeping habits.
Many vampires go by one name. Families and titles seem to become more abstract after a certain age.
Huh. So is it funny that he kept the title?
Indeed, you catch on quickly, despite your habit of disqualifying the positive.
Your therapist was a cowboy vampire. Delphi. Yeah. That's some motivation to go to therapy.
I will let you work now. I shall be meditating in my coffin, but I will sense when you need my help.
Meditating in my coffin. Yeah. You give me telepathic advice.
But
Samuel, I know you can handle this. Be yourself, and all will be well.
Satan bless it all, I hate flying. Hey there.
I'll adjust my glasses so maybe they won't be winking so much.
God's blood, what on earth are you?
Vampire?
My name's Sam. I'm the new therapist. Make yourself comfortable, Dr. Drain. And American as well. Good God. It's not enough for you lot to take over the world of the living. Even the halls of the dead aren't safe from you.
Yes, very flirty. That's why I'm winking so much. That's the only reason.
Oh well. I suppose your lot are all into this touchy-feely stuff, aren't you? And ignorance, even American ignorance, is bliss, I suppose. Oh, sweet ignorance, how I do wish I knew thee. Damn it, how am I gonna work with this fella? I gotta ask Annie.
Are you alright, Sam?
Hey, and he looks like me now.
You gave me this fella as my first client?
Why not? He is clearly hiding very little about his state of mind.
How am I supposed to help him when he already sees me as the bad guy?
Use your instincts, Samuel. Think about how you have felt in your darkest hours. What does this poor vampire want?
And why does this poor vampire have blue eyes? Water vampire? Maybe. It's from the British Isles, so maybe. What does this poor vampire want? He wants to complain.
I think he just wants to complain.
Drink your water.
Perceptive, Samuel. He can hardly stop himself, can he?
So, what? I just let him complain?
Of course. Just give him a starting point to let it all out. It will make him feel better.
Well, if you say so.
Don't worry, Samuel. You are doing wonderfully. I will release your time now.
He stopped time. This Andromachos is really powerful.
Well, are you just going to sit there? I was just gonna ask how your trip here was. My trip? My trip was bloody wonderful. Until my familiar got a flat tire and I had to fly 30 kilometers here as a bat.
Familia got a flat tire? Oh. Human Familia.
I hate being a bat and I hate flying. Do you know an owl tried to eat me? Me, a creature that has lived for centuries, treated like common prey. I'm surprised he was even interested. You should see what an ugly little beastie I am when I transform.
But didn't I see you? You flew here. As a bat.
All I could do was screech and squeak until he went away. Well, I suppose I'm alive, in a manner of speaking anyway. You all right there, pal? Yes, I'm fine. Well, I'm not, of course. I wouldn't be here otherwise. But for the sake of conversational integrity, fine. I take it you've read my case file and know why I'm here?
His horse died. A breakup. No, he thinks he has an addiction.
You're here for an addiction problem. Yes. Embarrassing, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, what's to be embarrassed about? I remember when Ulysses S. Grant was president. Didn't seem to bother him. Oh, well, of course. How wonderful it is that I share the mental failings of people who only live a single lifetime. Hey, come on now. There's a part of us that's still mortal. Can't help that, just like we can't help being dead. So I'm discovering. Look, I just need some tips and I'll be on my way. Just give me all the tricks, whatever one does to make addictions go away.
I wish there was a cure like that.
Tips? Let me think.
Tasty. Maybe we are going to suggest there are no easy solutions.
Partner, there ain't no tips that'll magically cure you, but I'm here to listen. You know, I never in my life thought anyone would ever call me partner. Like partner, but not with a T.
Partner. Hemoglobin patches.
And I know how you English love your tea.
No, how cruel.
Thank goodness we can still process tea. We cannot live on blood alone.
Oh, vampires can drink tea.
I appreciate the concern, though. I must admit, I rather saw myself above this whole addiction thing. I tell you what, let's not worry about being above or below anything. You're here now, so let's see what we can do. What exactly are you addicted to? It's a form of plasma, a catalytic compound of my own design, a necessary component of my own scientific goals.
Cutting patches, but they smell really coppery.
You're losing me. Well, let me try to make it simple. I have been able to replicate and even alter the molecular patterns that vampiric erythrocyte surface receptors receive.
Try to make it simple.
Our unique physiology gives us an increased ligand affinity, which is how we are able to process blood the way that we do. I can extend this receptivity and thus achieve my true goal: synthetic blood, freedom from the hunger that plagues us, and hope for all humanity. Well, dang, that sounds pretty impressive, Doc.
No, he's addicted to his own plasma creation. Well, although the bodily liquids, I guess you could interpret it as that too. Yep. Something like that.
Well, it doesn't work without a vampiric catalyst, and that is the plasma I am addicted to.
He's kinda saying that. Doesn't work without a vampiric catalyst.
Pathetic, isn't it? I have spent 400 years trying to steal the secret of blood, only to be engulfed by it, like Prometheus walking into a fireplace. Pathetic? Doc, where the heck would you get a word like that? You've come up with a synthetic blood. Man, I can barely get my spurs on some mornings. Maybe you've had a setback or two, but give yourself a little credit, compadre. Credit? For wasting 400 years? Practically speaking, I am in the same place as I was back when King James was in power. Only now I have a drug problem. Perhaps I must face facts. My professor was right. Nothing we ever do will make a damned bit of difference.
So many of these.
Samuel, listen to him. Do you recognize his patterns of thought?
Yeah.
There's some distortions in there, ain't there?
I knew you would sense them. Invite him to talk more about this failure of his.
I'll do my best. Now hold on just a minute there, cowpoke. I've heard you talk a lot about failure, but it sure sounds to me like you ain't thinking clearly if you think you're a failure. I am a realist, that's all. Look at me. 400 years of study and still dabbling with leukocytes.
400 years of study and still dabbling with leukocytes. Disqualifying the positive, is it?
I don't know many people who would call working with leukocytes dabbling. I mean, I gotta admit, I have no earthly clue what you're talking about. So unless you made up all them science terms, I think you might be doing more than playing with a chemistry set. Perhaps, but if we consider all there is to know about blood, I know precious little. But you know something. Yes, I concede I might know something about blood. I would hope so after 400 years. You still got more knowledge about blood than most, whether it's been 4 years or 400 years, amigo. Let's get back to what you were saying, though. I'm saying I am surely the oldest, most well-studied doctor in the world. I should have achieved more than this.
Oldest, most well-studied doctor in the world. I should have achieved more than this. Should have. It's a should statement, but also I think it's disqualifying the positive here too. Why are you disagreeing with me?
He needed to do so much.
I'm saying I am surely the oldest, most well-studied doctor in the world. I should have... Well, who said you should have achieved more? Isn't it obvious? I should have something to show for 400 years of work. And what happens if you don't? Absolutely nothing at all. Well, that's my point. That is not as encouraging as you think it is. Ain't meant to be encouraging, just showing you a little reality. Well, it's all my fault, really. I cannot seem to motivate my scientists to reach the necessary level of dedication. It's always shocking to me how little urgency mortals have around death.
Okay. That's... Okay, from now on. This is you. That's how I see you. That's how I imagine you. But really cannot seem to motivate my scientists. Control fallacy.
So it's all your fault that you haven't come up with the perfect synthetic blood. It can't be anyone else's fault. Only I have the skill, the knowledge, and the experience. Pardon me for saying so, Doc, but it sounds like what you're doing is pretty dang complicated.
Or worse things than being vampire cowboy elf. Yep. By the way, for tonight I will have to wrap this up after we have dealt with this patient.
It sounds to me like you're some kind of god if you expect control over life itself. Please. I am a scientist, not a spiritualist. It is not control I seek, but understanding. And are you ever gonna have perfect understanding? No, of course not. I'm not a wizard.
Why not?
So how about not putting saving the world on one person, Doc? That is a simplification, but I take your point. As I was saying, Now that I'm addicted to my own drug, I have joined the ranks of mortal celebrities in my utter irrelevance.
Is it Nosferatu thinking?
That's a pretty dark read on things. You know, lots of folks get over their addictions. Yes, but not me.
Why not you?
I'm trying to tell you that even if you are addicted, that ain't the end, hermano. You got a lot of life and opportunity left in you. If you can call this life. Now hold on there, that's what I call Nosferatu thinking, straight from the coffin. Life ain't all black and white. It's got its shades of gray too, you know. Oh, well played, cowpoke. Perhaps I am being a little dramatic. Yes, I'm aware that in reality progress has been made, enough to get to this point, but I didn't come here to ask for a pat on the back and to be told I'm a good boy.
Why would he have come here then?
Ain't my department, but I hear they do some of that stuff downstairs. Yes, we all know very well that the Continentals are more sexually liberated than we are. But as I say, I don't want all this therapy stuff. I just want to stop using this damn drug. Well, so what's so good about this stuff anyway? Why do you like it? I'm not certain. I don't remember what happens after I take it, but I wake up feeling, how do I put this, alive. Well, that don't sound so bad. A good nap can make me feel like a new man. I'm not talking about feeling refreshed. I mean I feel alive. As if I'm someone else. Someone who lives.
What does that mean?
And I wake up and find, oh gracious me, I am not depressed. You mean to tell me that you're going to sleep depressed every night? Oh, nothing of the sort. Oh well, I'm glad to hear that. You are assuming that I can simply go to sleep and my global scientific enterprise will run itself. Oh wait just a gosh darn minute, you're telling me you don't sleep? Yes, it's not as though we can get much deader already, and I have work to do. So you're not sleeping, and you're always depressed. I think we're starting to get somewhere. Oh, don't be such a bumpkin. If you are a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, depression is the only sensible reaction. It has nothing to do with sleep.
Is this control fallacy? No.
Depression is the only sensible reaction. He makes the goths downstairs seem almost joyous in their perspectives, doesn't he?
Oh, don't be such a bumpkin. If you are a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, depression is the only sensible reaction. It has nothing to do with sleep.
Oh, thank you so much for the pets and having to drink. Everything is black and white, even the birds and the tea. So is the only sensible.
Come on now, it's a big world out there, and different things are depressing to different people.
Yes. It doesn't look nearly as good like this.
Everyone reacts to things differently. Ain't it true that a sensible person, as you call him, might even... Very well, I suppose I might have been using a bit of mild hyperbole. Mild is putting it mildly, buckaroo. Buckaroo? Now I'm even more depressed. Regardless, I didn't come here to be a whiner. Oh, boo-hoo, life is hard. Yes, we all know it's hard.
Whiner.
Now why'd you say coming and talking to me makes you a whiner? Is that not what I currently am? Sounds to me like you're expressing yourself. Whiner is the word you used. Yeah, if you want to call it whining, that's up to you. But that's entirely your label. Oh, very well, call it moaning or whinging if you prefer. Moaning, whinging, bellyaching, still all just labels. I don't believe I shall be using the term bellyaching in any case. But as I was saying, In the moments I wake up, I feel free. I suppose it must be what being an ignoramus feels like.
Suppose it must be what being an ignoramus feels free.
So you're telling me you feel good when you wake up, and then you call yourself an ignoramus?
Mm-hmm.
Before you even get a chance to reflect on feeling good, you're insulting yourself. That's what I like to call disqualifying the positive. I'm simply stating facts. Stating facts shouldn't impede an argument. What good is that fact doing anyone? It's about as useful as an empty holster, lest I somehow forget that you were a cowboy. About this drug, though. Oh, very well. I suppose I might be discounting my experience. I don't know how to say this, amigo. You really don't like letting yourself be happy. Honestly, I'm failing to see the problem with taking this stuff. Seems like it's making you get the rest you need, and it makes you feel good. What's the problem? First of all, I do not need to rest. And partaking of this plasma does have downsides.
There are downsides.
What kind of downsides? I do not know what happens when I partake of the substance. However, when I wake up, I feel refreshed. But I also smell of blood and sex.
Better be a vampire ninja you can give therapy to. Why a ninja?
Once I even woke up wearing a football jersey. It was most distasteful.
Football jersey.
I guess you must be having some kind of good time. That is not my idea of a good time. I'm Dr. Drain. I am intelligent and worldly, not some ill-bred monster.
Yeah, he definitely isn't.
I don't go gallivanting into godforsaken places to engage in depraved coitus and the consumption of dirty blood. It sounds to me like you're real good at denying yourself things. Well, I should be better at it. You know, Doc, a wise old vampire recently told me something I'm about to tell you. You keep talking about the things you should be doing. You, compadre, are shoulding all over yourself. Oh, well, that is vivid, isn't it? I can now add incontinence to my already considerable list of faults. I'm being serious. I'm listening to you tell me I should be doing this, and I shouldn't be doing that. But who gave you all them shoulds and shouldn'ts? I don't know. It shouldn't matter, should it? I've been dead for over 400 years. It's the oldest stuff that sticks with us, amigo. We all got traumas. Heck, we're dead, man. That's traumatic no matter what. What we gotta start with is you. You've been through a lot. Don't rope yourself up so tight. Listen, we're doing good work already, I know it. Now, let's not push too hard. I would really like you to think about where all them shoulds are coming from before we meet again. And be good to yourself, all right, partner? Don't feel like you gotta go cold turkey on that plasma stuff. Yes, well, all the same, I'd rather not do it at all. Is that actually gonna happen, though? It might.
Might.
You're dipping into it tonight, aren't you? I was thinking about it. All right, partner. Just give yourself a little compassion. That's all I'm asking. I'll admit, you've given me some things to think about. Not pleasant ones, mind. You can handle it, partner. You're way smarter than I am. Yes, well, that is certainly true. Very well. I shall do some reflecting, inasmuch as our kind can reflect. I shall see you in precisely 4 weeks, then. Farewell, Sam.
Farewell, Drain.
Masterfully done, Samuel. I knew you would do well, but that doesn't make me any less pleased.
Alright. This is where we are stopping. If I can find how we can save the game. Not here. There it is. The save button. The first save. There it is. Okay. Do we have people to raid? Let's see. Yes. Imp is there. Let's go see Imp. Alright. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tonight again. I hope to see you next time. Again. And I will be playing a lot of Baldur's Gate, and I hope I finish it so I can focus on other things. Let's go see Imp. Bye bye.